Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Janine McGowan, and I design cross-stitch under the name The Blue Flower, and I'm just delighted to be back with everyone. It's been a whole month since the last video, so it's a real treat to get to see everyone. I hope you had a good holiday season. We mostly had a great holiday season, but unfortunately we had to say goodbye to our cat Pilsner right after Christmas, and so that was a really tough thing, and I know everyone understands that loss is just never easy, even if you know it's coming. I'm so glad so many of you got to meet Pilsner a little bit through these videos, and yeah, it's very strange to walk around the house and not see him. He was such a huge part of our lives for so many years that, yeah, it's been an adjustment for all of us. Even the dogs are a little off, but we're pulling together. We'll always miss him and appreciate him. And yeah, I'm getting some therapy stitching in, which I'll talk about later. So overall, Happy New Year. I think this year, more than others in the past, I'm trying to embrace it's not going back to the way it was. Life is just going to be different in ways that I don't know yet. And so I'm trying to embrace the way it will be instead of just longing for what we used to have. So we'll see how well I do with that. All right, starting right in, I'm going to go into Stitching in Action, and the first one we have this time is Tudor B. Sarah E stitched this, and she put beautiful beadwork trim around the whole outside. I still have yet to stitch a bead. Never done that. I've never done beaded trim, but every time I see the great results, I think I need to embrace that, and maybe that'll be one of the new things I embrace as life changes now. So thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. Next up, we have Moonlight Sampler stitched by Julie S. And this is on 32 count affogato linen. There are so many things I love about this one. I love the way she adjusted it to reflect her pets. We've got Rye popping in the background here. And it'll be tough to see on this one, so I'll try and get a close-up, but she worked in names. That's not for you, miss. No, thank you. Yeah. We're going to take a little break while Rye snips the linen. All right, Rye has decided to take a little nap on the guest bed, so we're back and talking about Moonlight Sampler, stitched by Julie S. This is on 32 count affogato linen, I believe from Fiber on a Whim. She adjusted the dog and the cat to reflect her pets, which is awesome. We got a tiny little white dog and a black and white cat there. She also worked, and it's going to be tough to see on the picture, so I'll try and put in a close-up, but she put names around the alphabet letters for specific people that she wanted to recognize. So see if we can get a close-up of that. I love her color choices, and she had this great vintage frame that's just the right size. So thank you so much for sharing that, Julie. All right, next one. This is actually a freebie that I did for StitchCon last year. And Lee, I don't know if you prefer Lee or Leah, but she stitched this freebie and then in the center of it put another design from Sue Hillis of a cicada. So it's this wonderful thing, and I just can't tell you how much I love this. So if Sue Hillis ever releases this, I am going to be stitching it also. I love it. Properly drunk with power on this one. Well done. I've also talked a little bit in the past about having like a cabinet of curiosities with, you know, examples of animals and butterflies and things, but in a glass case using stitched examples, obviously, instead of real ones. And I think I've identified a wall section that I'm going to start doing that on rather than trying to find a glass case that will work for everything. So if this cicada becomes available, that will be on the naturalistic wall for sure. My bangs are bugging me today. All right, now what I'm stitching, I haven't made any progress on grounding force because, first off, I was busy finishing the Snowball Fun Biscornu, and there's the picture there. Now I finished the stitching of this one. Super cute. I love the way that came out. But I was planning to do the finishing over the break between Christmas and New Year's, and then Pilsner passed, and I just didn't have quite that right mindset. So I actually switched to a new start. Normally I wouldn't, but I was remembering after Kazi died how helpful it was to have a memorial stitch for her. And so I thought it would be really helpful to start one for Pilsner. So I pulled this one. This is Marianne Mitton from Marywind Farm out of my stash. It's a little bit hard to see. Let's see if we can let's get this very subdued pinks palette and this beautiful floral border, which I love. This is a biggish stitch, and I thought I would adjust it for Pilsner. So here's what I have so far. You can tell this is about the halfway point of the left-hand border right here, so it's definitely going to be substantial, but I think Pilsner would appreciate a substantial tribute to him. And I'll change up the verse. I'll put, you know, big Pilsner up at the top where he should be. And it's been very, very helpful to have this to work on. It's, you know, stitching soothes your heart even in normal times, and especially when you need it. It's really been good for my mental health to keep working on this one. So I think this will be my piece that I work on really nonstop until it's done. So hopefully that will not take too terribly long. It's actually going fairly quickly. The border comes in little sections and you just do a chunk at a time, and it's really enjoyable to stitch. I'm just choosing colors as they come up and see what I like, but it's been very, very healing. So that's what I've been working on. All right, on to Stash Spotlight. We'll see what Rye was checking out here. I got some wonderful 40 count linen from Barbaral Creations, and I'll put that, she has an Etsy shop and a separate website. I'll put that information in the notes. But I got some beautiful linens. This one, it's called Woodland Halloween. Look at that. I mean, oh my goodness, yes. This next one is called Early America. This little pinky tan color. It's a little bit tough to see, but a bit more pink than it's showing here. This one is Golden Honey. Look at that. That does just look like really luscious honey to me. This one is Skyfall. And oh, it just feels like summer. Beautiful, beautiful day with a beautiful sky. This one is called Dirty, which I guess I can kind of see where the name comes from. To me, it just screams birthday sprinkles, and so it makes me happy. So there you go, birthday sprinkles, or dirty, however you want to look at it. But those are some fun linens I got that I'm looking forward to playing with. I also ordered some lovely trim. Look at those, aren't those fun? A bit of lace, where I tried to steal one, but I thwarted her, so I'm keeping them for myself. And that's my Stash Spotlight. All right, the world around. I have an interesting one this time. It's not an animal. It is something called Pogonip, which I had never heard of until we had it over the past month. And it is, according to Webster's, a dense winter fog containing frozen particles that is formed in deep mountain valleys of the western U.S. Pogonip. Apparently it comes from a Shoshone word for cloud, which I will do my best with, Payanipa. I've heard of freezing fog before, but this is apparently a very specific type of freezing fog, which only occurs, according to some sources, in Idaho, Nevada, and Wyoming. So I don't feel so bad not knowing what it was, since apparently it wasn't any place I've lived until now. It is stunningly beautiful, really, just so pretty. But it also makes the walkways incredibly slippery. The dogs are a little frustrated at times because any kind of slant in the sidewalk, they would just slide down. But it was lovely. And yeah. All right. Question from the last video. I asked about your favorite spices, and you've all once again made me very hungry. I need to stop asking things about food because I got some wonderful recipes and got spices on my mind, and I just wanted to bake and eat all of the lovely things. I hope you all got to eat some good holiday food as well. Question this week relating to the world around is, do you have a weather phenomena that is particular to your area, maybe with an unusual name like Pogonip? So I'd love to hear what you've got that I've never heard of either. All right, best thing this week, hands down, was when I let people know about Pilsner, and so many of you sent just a quick like, a comment, noticing that you'd seen him on the videos. I I wish I could tell you what that meant to me, because, you know, the day that we knew the vet was coming, we just spent our time with Pilsner, and then the next couple of days I pretty much just stitched and wept and read those comments, and it really meant the world to me. So thank you all so much, for every one of you who took a minute to just remember Pilsner. You know how it is when you love a pet. That's hard to say goodbye, but it helps to have a little bit of extra love. So I wish I could give you all a hug. I think we all deserve a hug, certainly. Maybe all need a hug, but hopefully someday soon. All right. The giveaway last time was this wonderful Consider the Lilies book from Heartstring Samplery. And the winner of this is Lorraine Bergstrom. So Lorraine, send me a message, give me your address, and I will get this in the mail for you. I hope you enjoy it. All right, this week for giveaway, I am giving away this beautiful piece of 32 count linen from Barbaral Creations. Let's see if we can get a little closer so you can see. It's got these little sparkles on it, and I don't use 32 count really ever, but I could not resist the color, so I ordered it just to get a look at before I gave it away, and then as soon as it's available in 40 count, I'll go ahead and order that for myself. But it reminds me so much of a beautiful winter sky, the way you can see the stars so well when the air is cold and a little bit clearer than usual. And I just thought these, oh, look at that, so pretty. So all those little stars. So to win this one, I was going to make it a little tricky and use sky or winter or something, but I'm going with star. Use the word star in your comments. Tell me something, someone who is a star to you, something about the sky. Lots of options. So I look forward to hearing from you, and you can win this fabric and try it out and tell me how you like it. All right, announcements. Sarah and Joanita are organizing a sale for this design here, the Gentle Rain, which you may have seen. But if you are interested, I've already seen some of the results, and they're just wonderful. People changing colors and fabrics, and it inspires me all over again. The hashtag on Instagram is Gentle Rain Sale 2022, and I'll put all that information in the notes as well. So if you're interested in doing that, if you have Gentle Rain in your stash and you just want to see what other people are doing to make it their own, take a look. All right. Extra long puppy video this week because we had 4 weeks of Rye pictures to work in. Rye also got a giant caterpillar for Christmas, so you'll see that featuring prominently in the videos. And yeah, that's it for me. It's lovely to be back. I missed you in those 4 weeks where a number of different things conspired to keep me from floss tubing quite on the normal schedule, but it's very nice to be back. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and that your new year is off to a really good start. And I hope to get to hug many of you in person before too much longer. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me, and puppy video at the end. Bye.